On today's episode of Game Chat, Forza Horizon 6, Half-Life, Gears of War Reloaded, and Minecraft Beta 1.7.3.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Game Chat. If this is your first time tuning in, this is where I break from the more professional, scripted videos to talk about what I've been playing outside of making videos. These aren't definitive reviews, but more just thoughts on what I'm playing through at the time. If you have played any of these games, or are currently playing these games, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm interested to hear your opinions. Let's not waste any time and jump into our first game for this episode, and that is Forza Horizon 6. Now, I loved Horizon 4, and I loved Horizon 5, and I was super stoked for this game, especially with the Japan setting and the emphasis on a more urban environment. I was excited. Now that the game has dropped and I've had some time to play it, it's time to ask the question, did it live up to the hype I had for it? And the answer is kinda. From an extremely casual, non-car enthusiast standpoint, which is where I'm coming from, I don't think the game is bad. I think the game feels great. I've kept all the settings on default and haven't had any frustrations with the controls. I like the way that the story is presented, not that I hated the way that Horizon 5 presented itself, where you are this big shot racer already, but the change to being a small fry car enthusiast, making your way through the festival and becoming more and more experienced and well-known is a breath of fresh air. In a world of perma online experiences, it's nice to have a series return to something that feels more like a single-player game. And as I expected, it is refreshing to be driving in a big city environment as opposed to driving next to fields or in jungles. Not saying Horizon 5 looked bad by any means, but when you're seeing these same locations for years on end, it does get tiring. However, I do have a few issues with the game, I can't lie. The game looks really washed out. I expected it to be vibrant and colorful, but it feels like I'm playing with some filter on, or it looks like the game just doesn't have its lighting down properly. And apparently this is a common issue that some people are facing, so I do feel relieved that I'm not crazy. But I spent probably 30 minutes with the benchmark tool thinking there was something wrong with my graphics settings, but it chooses this like mucky, rainy scene to benchmark the game with that just doesn't look pleasing. I didn't have any hardware issues. The game just doesn't look great. I don't know if this was deliberate, like the devs wanted the game to look like this for a more realistic look, or if the game just does look this bad. I'm playing on PC with medium graphics, but I was doing that with Horizon 5, and that game looked beautiful. The other issue I have is the progression, and now I actually like the progression in this game. I like that everything isn't right there for you to have and you have to make your way through the festival. That is very good. I like it. It's more so that it just forces you into content that you don't like. You have to receive enough points for completing events to progress to the next wristband level, and then every wristband level has new content for you to play around with. And you could do little things like speed cameras or drift zones that don't require you to load into a whole event, but these don't give you all too many points. So you have to do the big events, and then once I've done all the road racing or street ones that I like, I'm forced to do off-road racing or dirt racing events, and those ones I just don't have much interest in. It's a double-edged sword because, again, I really like this style of progression, and this is realistically the only way that they could do it without having the game be solely road racing or solely dirt racing or whatever. However, I just don't really find the appeal of like doing crazy epic stunts with a big lifted truck. Like, I want that early Fast and Furious street racing vibe. Also, this game requires an SSD. I've been playing on an HDD and I've been meaning to buy another SSD for a while, but this is the nail in the coffin because holy shit, the stuttering and load times are horrendous. Aside from that, I'm liking it. I do intend to play more. Despite my gripes, I've been waiting for this game for like 2 years. I'm gonna sink some time into it. The next game I want to talk about is Half-Life, and I know that I talk a lot about retro games on this channel, but I've actually never played Half-Life before. Mainly because I don't like the feel of Source Engine games. They always just feel really janky to me. I know, hot take. I think Half-Life is good, but there's a big gap between the amount of praise I've heard for this game and what I've played so far. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some stuff in this game that I can see and be like, oh wow, that is impressive. There's one puzzle where you have to like push wooden boxes into a river to jump across to the other side, and it's completely physics-based and it's not wonky at all. It worked exactly as I pictured it in my head. But aside from those small moments, it's just another first-person shooter. I was expecting it to be more like BioShock, where you have interactions of like, oh, if I fire my electricity into a pool of water, it electrocutes everyone standing in the pool of water. You know, player and environment interactions that could happen at any instance. All the praise that I've heard for this game made it sound like that was going to be the case for the whole game. But it's honestly just another FPS game to me. It's not inherently bad, it's just I think I had higher expectations based on what I've heard about this game. I could see the game being influential just for being like the first of its kind. I have a bit of an understanding that this game kind of laid the groundwork for single player FPS games going forward, and that is more than okay, and it's absolutely worthy of praise for that. Halo 1 is kind of like that. It's not that it did some crazy over-the-top shit, it's just that nothing else was really like that for its time. And I could say that as a longtime Halo fan. It's just that like everyone online talks about this game like it's developed by God himself, and then you go play it and it's just a single-player FPS. People talk about this game as if it's done things that modern games still haven't achieved. I haven't finished this one yet, as I'm actually playing it with my friend Wright. He's sort of guiding me because he loves this game. I do intend to finish it. Again, it's not a bad game by any means. It's just that, in my opinion, it's not as mind-blowing as everyone makes it to be. I just find it quite average, neither good nor bad. Maybe my opinion will change when I'm done with it, I hope so, but for now, it certainly is a video game.
Need a new form of entertainment in your life? Join the thousands of others who have hit the subscribe button. Side effects of subscribing may include joy, laughter, and newfound knowledge about video games. Talk to your doctor about if subscribing is right for you.
All new episodes of Game Graveyard. Weekdays on RatedEm.
Moving on to our next game for this episode, we're talking about Gears Reloaded. Oh boy, I've got a lot to say about this game, but I'm going to keep it short for this video. Last year I played Gears 1 and 2, and I wanted to do an ultimate review style video after I finished Gears 3, but I never ended up finishing Gears 3. Even though I just played the original game last year, I picked up Gears Reloaded on sale recently, and I decided to play it again. I also wanted to see what all the buzz was surrounding the remaster. I should mention that I'm kind of looking at this game through the lens of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, because Reloaded is pretty much just a port of that game, and I am strictly talking about the campaign here because multiplayer is an entirely different beast. I really wanted to hate Reloaded, but honestly, I don't hate Reloaded at all. I'm sorry. I do want to say that I think the best way to play Gears of War 1 is split screen with a friend on an original copy of the game. It's not just about the game itself, but it's about the experience that it provides. It's an experience that games don't care about all too much nowadays, but the remaster is not bad at all in my opinion. I think it's just a different take on the game. The original game has this art style that really reflects the damaged world that it takes place in, and it really reinforces that post-apocalyptic feeling. But the remaster's art style feels like it more leans into looking like a comic book, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. Gears of War is very comic book-like with its cartoonishly proportionate characters and its fucking chainsaw and an assault rifle, like come on. If you want a more action-focused game that looks like a comic book brought to life, play the remaster. But if you want a horror-inspired experience that is more centered on its world and setting, I'd play the original. I think both are fine. One is not better than the other. I like the art style that the original Xbox 360 version has, but I love the animation in the remaster better. Both have their pros and cons. I actually do really want to make mention of the cutscenes in the remaster. The animation quality is really good. It's just that some cutscenes are animated a little differently and does play into that difference in tone between the remaster and the original, but the quality of the cutscenes themselves are very good. I could go super in-depth about all of the Gears of War games that I've played, and I considered making a long video just talking about my experience with the Gears series. Not the ultimate review one, but like a new one that would be sort of like a game chat episode where the script is way more casual and I just talk about the series on a more personal level than an objective reviewer level. I just don't know if that's something you guys would want to see, or if maybe I should post it on the second channel, I don't know. But at least 45 minutes of my playtime with Gears Reloaded has been spent with just the game paused and like writing down notes to myself about the series or the remaster itself. So the offer's on the table. If you want to see that longer podcast-like Gears discussion video, let me know with a comment. Finally, for this episode, I want to talk about Minecraft Beta 1.7.3. Now, Minecraft and I, we're kind of going through this divorce arc right now. I've been playing Minecraft since I was 9 years old, and I've pretty much played it consistently ever since. But I'm getting older now, and I'm finding my groove with video games, and I think I'm kind of just growing out of Minecraft. I've seen it all, I've done it all, and the new content updates just aren't inherently enticing to me. I've heard a lot of people mention how beta Minecraft is the way to play Minecraft. You've got fewer blocks to work with, so everything has a distinct style. Many quality of life features are removed that make the game a more survival game experience. So I set it up, I made a world, and for the first few hours, everyone was right. The game does feel more like a survival game. Everything you do feels like it has more meaning. It's not just, oh, I'll go caving. You have to like prepare to go caving. I gather the resources, I built a house, and I stopped playing. Now I know the appeal of beta Minecraft is that it puts a more of a focus on you to set your own goals, but there really isn't much to set your sights on. The Nether is still in its early stages of development, so the only reason to go there is to get the exclusive blocks. And there's no end dimension, so there isn't the end goal of the Ender Dragon. The thrill of beta Minecraft is that it is a survival game, but honestly, I don't care for that. I think there's this thing with playing Minecraft as a kid where you even discover a village for the first time or a desert temple, and you are genuinely exploring it for yourself and finding out what the purpose of the structure is for. I think beta Minecraft has more of an emphasis on you building those structures and leaving your mark on the world rather than you exploring this foreign world, which I just don't have an interest in. I think beta Minecraft is too lackluster in content, but new Minecraft has too much content that it's overwhelming. I do like that beta Minecraft feels more like a survival game though. I do find that the modern game leans more into being an RPG. I've thought about trying maybe like 1.0 release Minecraft. I've also thought about modded beta Minecraft or just like early mod packs like 1.6.2 or something. But beta Minecraft low-key just feels like nostalgia bait, and once the rose-colored tint fades away, there's nothing really there. And that's coming from someone whose YouTube channel is all about video game history. All I post is nostalgia bait. And that concludes another episode of Game Chat. I didn't intend to do this one so close to the last, but I'm actually working on a new episode of The Spot right now that is requiring a lot out of me. I didn't want a week with no upload, so I am delaying that episode and I'm doing this video instead. It'll be worth it though. I'm playing a lot of games for it that I've never played before, and it's a unique topic, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's just taking a little bit of extra time.